You may have heard of podcasting, but might not know what it is if you're new to the world of online media marketing. Principally speaking, the more senses you appeal to a person, the more receptive the person is to information. Nowadays, it's harder to communicate with a person just using text and images. And this is where audio marketing comes in the form of podcasting. This is what the entire module is all about: podcasting and audio marketing. So, what is podcasting really? In the simplest of definition, podcasting is the publishing of audio programming to be distributed on the internet. Any audio device that can play MP3 files can be used for podcasting. Podcasting allows internet users to subscribe to a regularly updated feed of new audio files. Podcasting is unlike most other types of online media because of its subscription-based model. Think of it as having your own online radio station, except it's a mini version of it. Podcasting usually uses a feed like RSS to deliver an enclosed file. Not all podcasts require a subscription, though. That being said, podcasting enables independent producers like yourself to make syndicated radio shows and gives broadcast radio programs a new distribution method, but it also offers much more than that. So if you're not good at writing, but you speak better, then you can reach out to people and communicate your message and ideas faster, and the content travels quicker too. So, how would you typically craft your podcasting strategy? Or rather, what constitutes a good audio content worthy of podcasting to your listeners? Well, to begin with, you should record a short few-minute audio of solid content. The standard procedure works like this. Step 1. Wear your headphone. Position your microphone in front of you and read from the transcript either on screen or printed on paper. Everything else that you need must be within arm's reach. Step 2, you need to record the entire audio, but make sure that there's no echo in the room and nothing you expect will interrupt you is in the room, like your cell phone, for example. Step 3, when you're done recording, you'll be having numerous options for editing the material as well as changing the format. Although in most cases you will have recorded in a format like podcast or MP3. Now, more about the content. I'm sure that you've listened to enough radio advertisements in your lifetime, and you'll have heard of advertisements that excite you and the rest that bore you and have nothing to do with you. Recall those contests that they normally have and people dialing in. They're successful because of one thing. They have a call to action. Your audio must have a call to action at the end of it. What do you want your listeners to do after listening to your podcast? What kind of action do you want them to take? It could be visiting your website, which is very common call to action on the internet. So make sure that your domain name is easily spelled out and easy to mention to. Next up, audio marketing. If you already have a website or blog, you'll know what to do. But heck, I'll say it anyway. For starters, if you have a blog, you can put your podcast in your latest blog post. You will draw immediate listeners right away. But the whole point is in getting more visitors, right? Well, you can encourage visitors to get their friends and other contacts to the site by making your call to action there. Or insert a tell a friend email feature in your blog, like what many prominent websites do. Now, if you don't have a blog, offer the podcast in some sort of way that makes sense for your business and your visitors. And remember, from the host standpoint, a podcast is just a URL, so you don't need any special hosting software. If you already offer some kind of RSS feed, you can obviously enclose the podcast feed within it. Now, I expect that you're probably just starting out and you don't already have high traffic websites. Or if you do, but your podcast is not appropriate for that audience. You want to look elsewhere, including the podcast listing directories we mentioned earlier are good resources for you when looking for podcasts. Invaluable resources for you when trying to get an audience for your podcast. And you can submit a list of podcast sites to www.podcastingtools-submit-podcast.htm. And as you can see, the same URL is on the screen. This will be an absolute time saver. All in all, podcasting has made audio broadcasting much more portable. This allows circulation of information and ideas from people to people. Most people working in the entertainment field use podcasts to distribute information to one another through podcasts. You can also use it to share educational content if you are a student. Now you know how journalists get their work done more easily. Imagine the sheer impact it has for internet marketers already.